I've been on a diet for 2 months now, and I've been trying all the diet plan, the exercises. I've gone to the gym, I've done this and that. I've tried all the diets. I've cut out certain food that I love so that I can lose all this weight, and I just can't lose all this weight. So in these 2 months, all I've lost is just 2 months. Maybe it's in my genetics. Maybe I should just accept that I'll never lose weight, just like how there are people out there who will never lose weight no matter what they do, no matter what exercise they do. Just kind of like how twins will always have the same body composition. You'll never see one twin being skinny, one being bigger. It's always both skinny or both big. So it's probably the same thing. Sound familiar? Now, for most people, this is the scenario that they're in, so I'm going to give an example with me in another light. Now, Terry is a 30-year-old male. He is a house worker, cleaner, so he cleans the house, does all the chores in the house, cleans the dishes, cooks food or lunch, whatever. He prepares all the rooms, he makes sure that they look spectacular. And Terry also lives 2.5 kilometers away from where he works, and with that he walks every day. Now that's equivalent to 8,000 steps per day. Now you would argue that with all of this, Terry exercises each and every day. He also eats 3 to 4 times most days, but usually when he's working, he tends to eat 3 times: breakfast, lunch and supper. He does not skip any meals. He tries to have snacks here and there, but most of the time he would have like late night snacks. Now with all of this, you'd argue that Terry actually exercises each and every day because he walks to work, and then when he gets to work, he's practically exercising with all the chores that he's doing. So why is he not losing weight? It must be his genetics. His family is all obese, so it's probably the same thing. It runs in the family. Yes, it is possible for some individuals to have medical illnesses that actually prevent them from gaining weight because of certain things that actually happen, health conditions. And there are ways around this to actually help to keep a steady weight. Obviously, we do not want to gain too much weight or lose too much weight, just to keep a steady weight. But there are things that you can do. This only applies to people who've been diagnosed, but you have never been diagnosed with anything. You're just self-diagnosing yourself that it must be in my genes. Well, you actually need a medical perspective to actually know that you actually can't lose weight. If you do not have anything, then it's probably you. Okay, so there are certain things that you make sure that you check, or you make sure that you go to a doctor or a healthcare professional to see if you actually can't lose weight because of healthcare or because of medical conditions. But then if that's not the case, the problem is probably diet and exercise. It is that simple. Now this is also a shock to Terry because in school he used to be a thin individual. It's only when he started to start working that he started gaining weight. So there is also something that he doesn't really correlate that well. In school, he used to eat as much junk food as possible. Now he tries to eat healthy, but he's gaining weight. When he was eating junk food or whatever he wanted at any time of the day, he was still burning off that weight very quick. And now when he's trying to lose all this weight, it seems impossible. So is it that the secret to losing weight is that you shouldn't care about it too much and then actually just do whatever you want, and then your body will actually respond? Yes. Alright, so I'm sure just like Terry, you're looking for solutions. So let's say we take out certain factors that affect weight gain or weight loss. So weight loss, to be specific. So there are certain factors we cannot fight against. Like I said before, health conditions, medical conditions. If you've been diagnosed with certain medical conditions that prevent you from losing weight, then you cannot, it's going to be impossible it's going to be hard. Let me say that it's going to be hard for you to lose the weight, but it's not going to be impossible. So medical conditions will be one of them. Second one will be genetics. The third one will be age. You cannot do anything about your age. As we grow, our metabolism is not the same as it was before. So obviously that does have an impact or an effect on weight loss. Now let's focus on the things that we can control. Usually these are the things that are actually out there. We do know that this is the problem, we're just not doing anything about it. For example, every weekend or most of the weekend, Terry does not go a weekend without having alcohol. So alcohol is something that actually contributes to his weight gain or his continuous weight gain. It's a slow weight gain, so obviously he barely notices it up until it's all chubby, rounded face, muffin topping. So there's different things that he actually can't see up until it's too late or too far. But then the alcohol consumption, frequent alcohol consumption does affect weight loss. So if you're trying to lose weight, try to cut out alcohol. If you know you can't limit your alcohol intake, it's best to just cut out completely. Certain people or different types of people cannot limit their alcohol intake, so it's best to just cut it out. You need help obviously with stuff like this, so your environment matters. So if you are around or surrounded yourself by people who are always drinking out, trying to change your environment or your friends, you traitor. But anyway, it's best for your health. I'm sure they will understand. The second thing is fast food. Most weekends, so this is just most of the weekends. During the week, he tends to follow a healthy diet. He tries to follow a healthy diet. It's only when the weekend comes around that he has these type of things. And sometimes during the week, but then it's mostly on weekends. So fast food intake actually prevents us from reaching our goals, because fast food is very high in fat. That means very high in energy. What do you do with that excess energy that you just consumed from your food? Obviously you're going to store it as fat. Yes, there's people who are saying there's a ketogenic diet that cuts out carbohydrates and then you include fats and proteins, but for someone who has never been on food or a diet that doesn't have any carbohydrates, it's going to be hard for you to adjust to that. If you've always grew up eating bread and eggs, it's going to be hard for you to just eat eggs alone, because now you've used to having bread with eggs. So just having eggs alone, it's going to be hard for you, and then eventually you're going to go back to it, and then you're going to go back to it even worse. Because the thing about carbohydrates or sugar is that when you cut it out, your body gives you a craving of that food, and the craving becomes even more strong. And also comparing older him and younger him, when he was still in school, he was broke or didn't have much money. So obviously he wasn't buying that much fast food as when he was at that time. But now that he can afford this wine and pizza, that's what he usually has. So now you see that there's a difference. It's not just with the age, but then what he normally does then and now. The third one is portion control. Again, when he was broke, you would ration your food or eat according to what's available for the month. Now when he's a bit older and has money to do different things, the portion controls have also gotten bigger. So during the week, when he says he eats healthy, the portion controls are actually bigger than what he's supposed to be eating. Now when you reduce portion control, when you reduce your portions, that doesn't mean you're going to be hungry. It just means you reduce your portions but eat more in the day. That way you're always filling your stomach with something, so that you do not become hungry along the way. But eating something that's very little by little throughout the day, then you're keeping your stomach with something to digest, and then your hunger levels do not go down or up. So you keep a steady homeostasis level. And he barely eats fruits. He only eats veggies on like Sunday goals or something. That he barely does that. Now the eating pattern, again, when he was broke, he had an eating pattern, or he had things that he would follow to make sure that he survives the month. because it was about surviving. Now he just eats randomly. Sometimes he would have midnight snacks or binge eat at certain times when he's not doing anything, when he's on leave or he's out with people. So he just does different things that he wouldn't or usually never did when he was young. So this is something that also prevents him from losing weight. With having late night snacks, that also affects his sleeping patterns. That means he's not sleeping as regularly as he normally would. So he's staying up till like 1 a.m. watching reels, sending reels, and then seeing a certain reel about certain type of food, and then go to the kitchen to get that type of snack, and then it's just a whole cycle. I wonder why he can't lose weight. It's really a mystery. It must be in the genes. It's something that can never be solved. But thank you for watching the video. Make sure that you share the videos, and then click on the I'm gonna try this for the first time. Click on this video for the best exercises with minimal effort for weight loss. The best exercises for weight loss with minimal effort, something like that. Click on the video. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but it's going to be somewhere on the screen. Take care of your body. It is the only place that you have to live.